there, today we're going to make some vegetarian samosas from scratch, and they are delicious. I have 2 cups of flour here. I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of ghee. Ghee is clarified butter, so it has that delicious butter flavor. You can use plain old vegetable oil, olive oil, whatever you have. Since we're going to be baking these samosas, I'm going to add a little bit of baking soda to the mix as well. This just helps the dough to stay nice and crispy. I'm also going to add some caraway seeds. Again, this is completely optional. Some people hate them. We're going to put about a tablespoon in there. I love the flavor. And a pinch of salt. Okay, we're going to work this all together. You can do this in a stand mixer if you have one, but if you don't, it really comes together quickly and easily. We're just going to rub the ghee into the flour. This acts as a shortening, and it shortens the strands of gluten to make a nice tender crust. Once your mixture is kind of the texture of coarse cornmeal, then you can start to add some water. I've got 3/4 of a cup here. I'm going to add about 1/3 at a time because you may not need it all. You want the dough to come together and clean the edges of the bowl. Okay. Once your dough comes together, we're just going to give it a quick knead. If it's a little sticky, a little bit more flour. But you want this dough to be tender, so we're not going to over knead it. There we go. So quick and easy. I'm just going to coat this in a little bit more ghee and give it a rest for about 20 minutes just to let any gluten that has been developed relax so that it's easier to roll out. See you back here in a few minutes.
So while our samosa dough has been resting, I've boiled some potatoes, 3 large ones or 6 small ones. It's kind of an approximate recipe. You can use any kind of potato, but you want something that's a little bit more mealy and crumbly, like a Yukon Gold. You don't want to use a red potato because they can be very glutinous and sticky, and we don't want that for our filling. So these just need to be fork tender, which they are. I'm going to drain them and return them to the pot just to dry them out a little bit. While the potatoes are drying out, I'm just going to toast up the spices a little bit. So I've got some ghee in here, and I'm just going to add my spices. I have some cayenne pepper, some salt, some turmeric, and some garam masala. So these are just going to go onto the burner for maybe 3-4 minutes, just until the spices are fragrant. And then when we're done that, we're going to add the potatoes and start mixing everything together. So the spices are nice and fragrant, and we're just going to add the potatoes right to that pan. Everything's very hot. I'm going to mash those potatoes in coarsely with the spices. All right, so now we're going to add some peas. I have a cup of thawed peas. We're just going to fold that in. At this point, you want to taste, adjust for seasoning. You may need to add more salt. You may want to add more spice depending on your personal preference. Maybe even a little bit more ghee to rich it up a bit. And then if you're not a cilantro hater, you can add some fresh chopped cilantro to this mixture. And that's it. So we're going to set this aside to cool a little bit, and then we're going to roll out the dough and fill these samosas. So I've got our dough here. It's been resting for about 20 minutes. On a lightly floured board, we're just going to roll it into a cylinder. Maybe 8 inches long, about the size of the width of your 2 hands put together. And we're just going to cut this into 8 pieces. Doesn't have to be perfect. Each of these we're going to roll into a nice ball. And then each of these balls we're going to roll out into a disc about 6 or 7 inches in diameter. You want to flour your pin, flour your counter. Doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. Don't know if you can actually call that a circle, but close enough. And now we're going to cut this in half. So each half is going to make 1 samosa. Lay the semicircle on your palm with the flat edge along your index finger and just wet that edge. I'm going to fold this over
So you have a slight overlap here. Fold that over and give it a little pinch. So that's going to form our samosa. Open it up. Hold it kind of like you would hold an ice cream cone. And we're going to put in about a tablespoon of filling, maybe a bit more depending on how big you make them. Push that filling down, wet one side, and pinch it closed. And there's your samosa. So now while you're doing this, you want to preheat your oven to about 400 degrees. We're going to put these on a parchment lined baking sheet, and then once the oven's ready and we're finished filling, we're going to bake them. Okay, we'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, we're done making all the samosas, and I'm just coating them on both sides with some ghee. You can use vegetable oil, just because we're doing them in the oven, so we do want a little bit of fat on there. All right, so we're going to pop those in at 400 degrees Fahrenheit, probably about 15 minutes. We'll check them after 10 and give them a quick flip so they brown evenly. And we'll be back to make a nice sauce to go with them in just a minute. Okay, so while our samosas are baking, we're going to make a quick sauce. You can serve your samosas just as they are. You can buy some store-bought chutney or sauce, or you can even dip them in ketchup. But I like to make a cilantro sauce that is very, very delicious. So I'm going to start with some green onions, and I'm going to keep these ends and plant them in my garden so they'll make more green onions. I'm just going to roughly chop these. We're going to throw them into the food processor. There we go. And one bunch of cilantro.
From the garden?
From the garden. There we go. And we're going to add some sugar. This is just raw coarse sugar, but you can add plain old sugar is fine. And we'll just add a little bit here. We can always add more. Some roasted garlic that I've just discovered you can do in the air fryer, but that's another cooking class. And we want some heat in a couple of chilies here. I think we'll start with the green and the red chili. Just going to take the stem off, but leave the seeds in there. Now, mango. This is optional, but it does add a nice acidic flavor. This is a fairly green mango, not terribly ripe, and that's exactly the way you want it, because you want it to add some acidity here. This is the pit that I cut the cheeks off, and here's one of the cheeks. You just take your knife and you score it down to the skin, and then crossways, and then you can just pop it right out, and those little nuggets come right off. This is the way I used to cut mango for my kids' lunches when they were little. So I'm just going to add this in here. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of orange juice, just enough to kind of facilitate everything coming together. You can always add more. A little bit of salt. This is kosher salt. And some pepper. We're going to give that a whirl. Let's see how it goes. Now, don't anybody call health and safety on me on this food processor. I've been carrying it around for 10 years. A little bit sweeter than I would have wanted it. I think that had to do with the mango being a little riper. So I'm just going to add a touch of lime or lemon. And I got my hand on a lemon first, so I'm just going to add some lemon juice. Just catch the seeds. And a tiny bit more salt to balance out that sweetness. All right, one more whirl and we should be good to go. These samosas have been in about 15 minutes. I turned them over halfway through. They're nice golden brown. All right, so here we go. Let's see. Whew, those are hot. Beautiful. Whew. Thanks. A little bit of chutney. Perfect.